In 2026, the primary battlefield between the United States and Iran is embedded within the servers of the global financial system. Following the U.S. and Israeli airstrikes of Operation Epic Fury in February, Iran retaliated by seeding the Strait of Hormuz with heavy sea mines, effectively sealing the waterway to all commercial traffic. This map shows the 21-mile-wide Strait of Hormuz, a bottleneck that handles 1/5 of the world's seaborne oil supply. The current blockade has successfully choked off this entire energy artery. Traditional military strikes failed to reopen the passage. Instead, the escalation triggered the largest disruption to the global energy supply since the 1970s. The United States responded with its own naval blockade, deploying a carrier strike group to patrol 1,000 miles of the Iranian coastline. President Trump intensified the diplomatic standoff by sharing maps on social media that labeled the Strait of Hormuz as new U.S. territory, claiming total American control over the international waterway. Tehran refused to yield, maintaining the closure through a bitter 6-month stalemate as global commodity and oil prices reached record highs. Physical geography proved immune to traditional naval pressure. Because ships and bombs could not break the deadlock, the administration pivoted to a different type of weapon. On August 24, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced a total financial siege. He described the new strategy, dubbed Operation Economic Outcast, as an economic D-Day. The strategy relies on secondary sanctions. This mechanism forces the entire world to comply by targeting any entity, regardless of its home country, that facilitates trade with Iran. The Treasury issued a global ultimatum: continue trading with Iran and be permanently expelled from the U.S. dollar system. This effectively weaponized the dollar, forcing neutral nations to choose between maintaining ties with Tehran or retaining access to the global market. The internal impact on Iran was immediate. Following the announcement, the rial collapsed to a record low of over $2 million to the U.S. dollar. Hyperinflation quickly followed. Rice prices surged by 60%, while the price of beef spiked by 150%, placing an immense burden on the Iranian population. Long-standing alliances began to fracture under the pressure. The United Arab Emirates, once a primary trading partner for Tehran, suspended all trade to protect its own economy from American sanctions. Financial strangulation achieved in mere days what months of naval blockades could not: the effective walling off of the Iranian economy from the world. China remains the critical loophole in this siege. As Iran's largest purchaser of crude oil, Beijing provides its most vital remaining financial lifeline. Beijing has denounced the sanctions as illegal, stating they will not recognize extraterritorial U.S. dictates that interfere with their legal energy cooperation. To protect its interests, China has threatened to weaponize its own export controls on critical minerals, the materials essential for American high-tech and defense manufacturing. The refusal of the world's second-largest economy to bend has transformed a regional conflict into a direct standoff between superpowers. The U.S. administration now faces a strategic trap. To make the financial siege absolute, the Treasury must eventually sanction major Chinese banks. Pulling that trigger risks a total meltdown of the global financial system, just as President Trump and Xi prepare for a high-stakes Washington summit. On one side, Iran holds the physical global energy supply hostage at the Strait of Hormuz. On the other, the United States leverages the global financial system through the power of the dollar. Modern warfare has moved beyond military targets. The survival of the interconnected global financial system itself has become the ultimate casualty of the 2026 crisis.